Legionary, and welcome to the next episode of Factorio. I think we're on episode 4. So I just got back from a vacation, like I said. I think I mentioned it in episode 3 at least. That was pretty abysmal, actually. I knew it would be going in, so it's not like I'm disappointed or anything, but... I mean, like, I was forced to be a chauffeur at a wedding. So I was basically driving around a golf cart and being disappointed for like a week. But I don't know. I mean, like the fun thing was that I apparently got like incredibly dissed, and I don't really care because I was God, these trees. I was supposed to be actually attending the ceremony, but the fun thing is they actually forgot to come get me. So I sat at the end of the driveway in the golf cart waiting for people to arrive, but everyone was there and no one bothered to tell me. So during the ceremony, I sat just like I said, sat at the end of the driveway. I watched the one police car in the town, because it's that small of a town. And they went by, we looked at each other, it was awkward. It was awkward too. And yeah, it was a great time. Absolutely fantastic. My mom was pissed, Dad didn't care, I don't care, it doesn't really matter. But, I don't know. It was an event that will probably be, mentioned in my family for a while. Well, my part of the family, not their part, they don't care. Or at least I don't think they care. If they did, they wouldn't have left me at the fucking driveway, no? But anyway, oh, I can't actually have this on this side of the build. So, I don't actually know what I'm doing right now, because I haven't played this in a week. I mean, I get the cursory overview of the base, but I don't know what I was actually planning on doing next. So, I finally understand what it is like for YouTubers to sit down after a new session and look and go, what am I doing? Okay. So... I should be researching something, but I'm actually not even producing research at all. So I should probably get an actual assembly line set up for this stuff. So that just means making a bunch of assembling machines. Beyond the wedding, there was actually nothing that actually happened that whole week. It was just me being upset, and oh, I was surrounded by small children, like, the entire time. Because that branch of the family has infinite amounts of children, and my mom only had one kid, which is me. So it's, you know, we're my dad calls it my aunt's numerical superiority. So they have like probably around like 10 or 15 members, and then there's like hangers-on, because it's like you have the married portion of the couples, and you also have the add-on, like, uncles and brothers that had to show up. So they basically had like 70 people there, and that was for like one portion of the family. And then there's us, and we brought 3 people. So they outnumber us greatly, and it's not exactly fun to sit in a house that was designed for like one old guy and his wife to go ahead and like live out their, like, you know, wonder years in. Because that was my grandfather's house that just kind of like became this like fighting pit for the family. But I'm talking about it too much. I guess it's just on my mind because I just got back from it. I suppose I'm probably going to show my my colors here on where I stand with it, but as of like 10 hours ago, when I'm recording this, Reddit started exploding over the censorship thing. Wait, is it a censorship thing? It's usually a censorship thing with them. No, wait, don't tell me. It's not a censorship thing, it's a not being informed about things thing. Okay. Sorry, it's difficult to keep my rage, Reddit rage, like under actual like measurement, because they do it so often about so many different things. So they're currently mad about a user being well, an admin being tossed off the payroll, and she was useful. So everyone's throwing a fit, from what I recall in reading the thread. I don't know. I'm sure the community is divided like they always are, because they're never actually, like, you know, straightforward on anything. I don't want this layout. The important thing is that everyone's talking about vote.co or whatever now. So I'm trying to actually like look at the site, but it just keeps getting hugged to death by all the waves of people from Reddit who are trying to leave. So you can't actually go visit vote.co right now, because you'll be able to get the page maybe once in like half an hour of trying. So it's not exactly much of an alternative, because you can't really get there. It might be an alternative once they actually sort out the traffic problems due to the waves of people coming and trying to check it out. But if they don't get to sort that out before people like me just kind of stop showing up, then they're never going to get the critical momentum they need to actually like supplant Reddit in any way whatsoever. Because if a casual user of Reddit like me just kind of shows up and goes, I can't actually look at anything on Vote, oh well, and then they leave, you have lost them, because now they're going to remember Vote as that one site that had terrible servers and no one could look at. And I know it's not exactly fair to say that like every site should have the capability of holding like a Reddit-sized traffic wave, because the Reddit hug of death is very real. I'm not trying to marginalize that, but it's not a good sign when if they're not using something like Amazon Web Services to like hold down their traffic flow problems, or give them a bit of buffer because they know people are going to be interested. Like they're relying on donations, which is why they're actually not able to pull out like all the strings like you would assume they would be able to if everyone was going there, because I don't think they're actually using advertising at all, or at least anything that I've noticed. And I honestly don't notice advertising that much because I'm just constantly on ad block. And I mean, honestly, I don't really like. I don't feel bad if you're using ad block watching this video, because I would be. So if you want to support me, go ahead and turn off ad block, and you know, I'll actually be able to see some kind of like, you know, revenue from that. But don't feel too bad if you don't, because you know, what I'd be using any kind of money out of this service for would be to get a new computer case, because mine is currently a bit small. So if I actually get anything out of this channel, it would definitely be going to computer upgrades to help me play games more effectively, because I need more room to upgrade the computer anymore, because the card is literally rubbing up against a drive, and it's not good, but whatever. Anyway, that tangent over. Yeah, like their donation-only service is admirable, to say the least, because their message is supposed to be uncorrupted by corporate interests, and if you have advertisers, you inherently have corporate interest. So in order to maintain their neutrality, they can't do advertising, which means that they're kind of precluded from a lot of like heavier services like Amazon, just because they don't have the kind of revenue to have a Amazon Web Services like cloud server of some immeasurable size. But if they can get someone to donate some server time, or some servers in general, like I actually did manage to get through to like one thread on Vote before it just kind of like shut down for me. And two people on that thread were talking about how they wanted to donate servers. So if they can get their own users to donate servers, or server time at least, then what you can do is try and squeeze out some kind of like ramshackle Amazon Web Services style thing out of the out of the scruff of their users, which is not ideal, clearly. But if they're relying on charity and an open message, then that is the ideal for them. Okay. Let's see here. I have no lab development whatsoever. I'm just trying to build a really basic, like, gear production thing here. And once I make gears, in order to make the actual red science packs, I also need the copper plate, so I'm going to need to split that over. So I might as well just go dump these red science packs in here. So I need to, I don't have logistics, that's what I'm researching. So in order to actually do what I want to do with this belt, which is loop it under and split it over and get them both on this one belt here for red production, that means I have to wait until logistics is done. And if you occasionally hear a small chirping meow in the background, that's because my cat leapt up next to me. So she's rather demanding of attention, and if I don't pay attention, she'll just start, like, you know, trying to jump on me. So because I'm currently, you know, as I do record in the middle of the night, I'm actually just kind of sitting here, and I'm the only distraction in the house for. And now that I'm just talking, it's drawing the attention of all the cats from around the house, so they're all going to converge on this location and start trying to bother me. Not that I really particularly mind, but I just don't want you to wonder, like, if there's a random, like, small bird nearby, or if there's, like, I have no idea. I can't even think of any other kind of, like, comparisons for what a cat chirp would be. Because they don't meow when they want my attention, they chirp. I have bird cats, as opposed to actual cats. Okay. I suppose in the meantime, until I get the splitters, I could just kind of jury rig it with a longhand inserter. Will that actually do what I want it to? Yes, it will. Okay. There. Yep, that works. Not particularly. It works okay. It's not. Doesn't look like what I want it to look like, but it works alright. Now, if I can get the logistics done, I can pretty that up, and we can get underway with that. My biggest problem when I first started playing this game was learning how to use both sides of the belt, because it is at least in my experience, a classic noob thing to use, like, one portion of the belt like this here. Like, in actuality, in a real setup, I would want to use both sides of this belt. I would remove the second belt, and I would squeeze the furnaces over a little bit more, and I would have a dual iron line feeding on both sides with the fuel. So I would want to double up on this iron for an initial, like, central bus style. But because I decided to go for both with the same, like, space efficiency, now I'm wasting half the belt, say. So in actuality, if my intention is to just, like, fill up the belt, I could do what I just said I was gonna do, or what I would have done rather, or I could move it all over one, have them put down the copper on that belt, and waste a bunch of copper over here, and let him take it off of the belt here. Let this inserter take it off. So it would mean there's more copper throughput, but it would also mean there's a bunch of wasted copper. So, I mean, there's already a bunch of wasted copper, considering that the furnaces are stockpiling it, but honestly, efficiency is not really the goal right now, because I'm not working at high enough scales for efficiency to actually come into account. I'm holding on to, like, almost 1,000 copper in my inventory right now, so there's no real need to be extremely efficient at this particular level. When I'm dealing with, like, honestly, if I were working on a scale, like, akin to some of the other YouTubers I watch for this stuff, then perhaps it would be it would be something I would want to show you. But as I said, or as I think I said rather, I'm not really that interested in min-max gameplay. That's not really my thing. My thing is just kind of doing whatever I feel like doing at the time, and whatever feels like, I don't know, whatever feels correct. And I know it sounds like really like a lame or I don't want to say suboptimal because that just sounds like I'm trying to min-max. Because it is obviously suboptimal, but it's more like I'm just trying to be. What is the word I'm looking for? Myself, maybe? I guess. I mean, that sounds kind of lame, but it's true. It may not be the word choice I'm looking for, but it is true. Okay, so we're done with logistics, so now we should probably pick up electronics, or... there might be biters nearby, maybe. So we may want to think about armor or military. Decisions. I like building walls, so I guess we'll just knock the walls out of the way here. Okay. So let's just get that belt running. So now I can actually build the design that I wanted to build for this. So I can just get rid of this stuff. A splitter and an underground belt. Once I actually get the electronic circuit production up and running, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing will be a lot faster. So, that will be nice. Yeah, okay. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Because this will be on the left side of the belt, which is exactly where the, oh god, the gear wheels, the iron gear wheels will be. So I need to have a splitter in order to jumble it up. But how exactly was I going to do this? That is a good question. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what this relies on. I need to move these down. Oh no, you don't. Stop that. Okay. Need to move these down to about here. Okay. And pick up all this. And it's not exactly ideal, but let's see here. It takes one part of each. It takes one part gear and one part copper, so it should maintain at least relative stability. I say that hesitantly, because I have no idea whether or not I'm talking out my ass right now. Yeah, it should be. I mean, no. What am I doing? I'm being a dumb. Help, I'm being a dumb, guys. I shouldn't be tired right now is what my excuse is, but I am, actually. I started recording episodes at around 4 o'clock in the morning, roundabout, which is actually my usual peak. But ever since I went up on that vacation, I started getting tired because I had to shift my clock back and forth, so I'm still in like the unnecessary like shockwave portion of the day, which is I start feeling tired at a strange time for no particularly good reason. So I suppose I'll just use the splitter like this. I think I might as well. This is the more traditional way to do it anyway. This is not going to work either. No, it's a terrible overflow of copper. It's just going to fill up the entire belt with copper. I need to have some kind of equalizer, and I also need to halt the copper flow because it's just overflowing like mad. Oh. Okay, that's how I do it. All I need to do, clean it out, make that go straight, make that go that way. No, god damn it, no. Stop that. You get out of there. Okay. I hate how the belts function sometimes. Like, I just want them to do something, but I need to place an extra belt for no particularly good reason. Otherwise, it'll just form an S-curve and mess up everything. Like, I want it to just be a straight belt here, but it'll just form an S-curve if I delete the one on the left. So it'll just completely F up the design if I just remove what seems to be an extraneous piece of belt, which is unfortunate, to say the least. God, this is terrible pole placement. Pole placement. But I won't be able to do anything better until I get medium electric poles, which is extremely unfortunate, because I really like being able to have wider pole variants with the electricity supply. Like, I hate the range of small electric poles because it's just so inconvenient. You have to put so many down, and they have such a strange little square that they don't actually fit well on anything. So, I don't know. It just bothers me. It just really does bother me. Okay. So, and we should have... Okay, that's not... And that's another thing. I absolutely hate when I place down the splitter on the wrong side, and then it's just like, oh, well, I wanted to put them on both sides of this, but now I'm just going to have to move it over by one on the other way. Because I would really like the ability to have like a splitter that functions as like a flipper, where it will flip the input of the belt to the other side. Because really, that's what these splitter setups do, is just they're trying to put the stuff from the other side, like, on there. Like, that's their sole purpose. That's what those splitters do. Oh, and I ran out of coal. Great. Okay. I need to get the fuel line set up to down here so that, actually I didn't run out of coal, I ran out of wood because I started putting wood in here. Need to get a fuel line set up so that that stuff will actually start doing things. Without, you know, like, I don't want a catastrophic base shutdown every time I forget to go check the fuel levels. So I definitely want to get that going. And we will end the episode once I get the red science belt down to the science. This is a terrible place for it, but this is where it is right now, so I'm just going to leave it like that until I get something better coming along. It's kind of like the Roughnecks. You're it until I find someone better. If you haven't seen Starship Troopers, you need to go watch it before you can keep watching my stuff. Like, it's kind of required, I'm sorry. I will not let you watch unless you go watch it. So anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. So, I am a clever marketing ploy, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.